guys, Abby here. Welcome to our new series called If I Were You, where I answer your questions and I try my best to give you some advice based on my experiences and my point of view. I wanted to come up with something that could involve you guys more since that is the whole point of what I do here on Love Abby. The series of videos will be a little more chill since yung Storms Don't Last Forever series natin is more motivational kaya medyo mas formal yun. Pero dito will be a little more laid back and a little more raw. So hopefully magustuhan nyo din itong bagong series natin. A few days ago, I asked you guys on Instagram if you have any questions or kung gusto nyong humingi ng advice. And I was surprised by the influx of messages and thank you guys for making this video possible. And I took a few of the questions that were asked and sa tingin ko yung may marami ding ganung pinagdadaanan. There were so many good ones and talagang nahirapan akong pumili. But don't worry, we will have more of those questions sa mga susunod pa nating mga videos. And here are the ones that I will be including in today's episode. And as promised, I will keep you guys anonymous. First question. And I thought I'd start with this kasi nakaka-relate ako dito sa question na to. Napagdaanan ko na din kasi to. So the question is, okay lang po ba na magtago ng relationship with your parents? Alam mo kasi sometimes when you're in love, sobrang sarap sa pakiramdam na natatakot kang matapos yung feeling na yon. 'Di ba? Natatakot ka na merong hahadlang dun sa feeling na yon sa relationship ninyo. I've been there. Kaya din siguro tayo natatakot na mag-open up sa parents natin kasi, baka bawal or baka ayaw lang natin na makialam sila. I don't know what your reasons are but 'di ba usually ganun. But you know what I realized? Kung talagang mahal mo yung tao, if you're really serious about your relationship and you see yourself marrying this person someday, then it's worth telling the world about. I think respeto na din to not only sa parents mo, pero dun din sa taong mahal mo. Na, makipapakita mo sa kanya na kaya mo siyang panindigan kahit sa harap ng mga magulang mo. It's another way of showing the person you love na mahal mo siya at seryoso ka sa kanya. And it took a while for me to realize this too. Alam mo, mahirap pag in love ka, parang nawawala na lahat ng rasyonal na pag-iisip, 'di ba? Kasi gusto mo lang yung feeling na yon. Because being in love is such a good feeling, 'di ba? But I also realized in the long run that staying in a relationship na hindi legal, it won't go anywhere. Mas-stress out ka lang kakatago and the guilt of hiding from your parents, it will eat you up every day. Nagmumukha lang din na kasalanan ang magmahal. So, kung mahal mo talaga yung tao, do something about it. And if I were you, I would probably also need someone to tell me this too. Kailangan ko din ng magsasabi sa akin ito kasi ako, pag na-in love ako, nahihirapan ako makinig sa ibang tao. Not because I don't want to listen to them, but because I'm afraid that, I'm afraid of the truth. That, pag sinunod ko sila, I'm afraid that the love will end. 'Di ba? So, ayun. Next question. What is your advice for a woman who is near her 30s and is still single since birth? I got this question a lot, kaya ko din napili yung question na to. And before I begin, I just want you to know na you are not alone. There is still a lot of beautiful women out there who are, patiently waiting and who are embracing their singlehood. I think this is one of the fears of women out there, mapa-NBSB man or kahit hindi na NBSB, pero single pa rin at pawala na sa kalendaryo tapos wala pa ding love life. There are also so many women in my life right now na ganon, myself included. This advice that I'm going to give might sound cliche kasi palaging nababanggit, so I'm going to expound. My advice would be to be patient and trust God. 'Di ba? Sobrang common. Kasi patience is not just about the waiting. It's also about how you wait. Maybe we were given this time to prepare ourselves. Kasi 'di ba baka hindi pa tayo handa para dun sa future boyfriend natin or future husband natin. Or it could be the other way around. Hindi pa din handa yung taong yun, yung right one natin para sa atin. So we can also look at this as a preparation stage. Baka may mga kailangan pa tayong pagdaanan bago natin makilala ang the one. Kasi most of the time, the reason why we don't get our blessings yet or hindi pa nasasagot ni Lord yung dasal, mga hinihingi natin sa dinadasal natin is because we are not prepared for those blessings yet. And in this case, we might not be prepared for our future spouse or our future partner yet. And God loves us too much to give it to us prematurely. Ayaw niyang ibigay yun sa atin na alam niyang hindi pa tayo handa kasi baka masira lang natin yung blessing na yun or baka ikasira lang natin yung blessing na yun. 'Di ba? Ayaw din naman natin na pumasok sa isang relationship tapos magfe-fail lang. As much as possible, we want to treasure it. 'Di ba? And for some people, they are so blessed that the first person that they meet, their first boyfriend becomes their husband. That doesn't happen for a lot of us. But I think if you're patient enough, that is definitely possible. Karamihan sa mga kakilala ko that are also, pawala na sa kalendaryo, have the same fears. Natatakot na mapag-iwanan na ng panahon, natatakot na, ay, baka maubusan ako ng lalaki. Or, most commonly also for some women, they're afraid that, by the time they reach the age na makahanap na sila ng love life nila, baka delikado na mag-anak. But, you know what? Love has no deadline. We give that deadline to ourselves, kaya tayo nasi-stress out, 'di ba? Sinasabi natin, dapat by this age, meron na akong boyfriend. Dapat by this age, kasal na ako. We have that idea in our minds. And na-influence din siguro yun sa mga tao sa paligid natin. 'Di ba? We see sometimes our friends, wow, their love life is going great. Saktong-sakto yung edad ng pag-aasawa niya, sakto lang yung edad niya nung nagkaanak siya. 'Di ba? Nakaka-pressure, and I really understand that. But also at the same time, we have to always remind ourselves na walang deadline ang pagmamahal. 'Di ba? Hindi ibig sabihin na lampas ka na sa kalendaryo, you are no longer capable of finding the right kind of love. And about having a baby, tao lang naman ang nagsabi na, by 40 or by 50, hindi ka na pwede magkaroon ng anak kasi delikado na. But you know what? Like I said, 'di ba? Be patient and trust God. Trust God. Because kahit sinabi ng tao na delikado na yan, kung gusto ni Lord na magkaanak ka, He can make that possible. So trust God and His timing, and don't give love a deadline. And if I were you, I would probably feel worried also. Lalo na kung yung lahat ng tao sa paligid natin or sa paligid ko may love life na. 'Di ba? It's difficult. And so also be patient with yourself. Be patient not only with your situation but mostly with yourself. 'Di ba? Huwag kang magpapapressure. But we also have to remind ourselves that although, having a love life is one of the best feelings or experiences ever, there is more to life than just that. Focus on the other things that God has put in front of you at the moment. 'Di ba? May rason kung bakit yan ang nasa harap mo at hindi pa yung life partner mo. So, don't stress too much and let God do His work. Next question. How to avoid being a perfectionist? Honestly, my initial reaction when I read this was, ba't gusto niyang i-avoid? Being a perfectionist is not all that bad. It only becomes bad when you overdo it and, you let it affect your personal life and your emotions. I guess my advice won't be to avoid it, but to learn the boundaries and how to handle it well. Because there's so much beauty in that. And also, being a perfectionist is what will set you apart from other people. It could be something that will be good for your career, for your studies, and, for everything that you do. Kaya, try your best na wag nyo namang i-avoid totally. But, embrace it and control it kasi magagawa mo naman din yan. And if I may add, on a spiritual note, that's also in the Bible, it says that you therefore must be perfect, for your heavenly Father is perfect. Of course, walang perpekto sa mundo, but that is what we must strive to be. Because we have it in our genes as children of God. Nasa dugo natin yan. You know, we were made for perfection. And that's why sometimes it also reflects on the things that we do. We want things to be perfect because we were made for perfection. So if I were you, I might also feel the burden of being a perfectionist sometimes. But as long as we learn how to handle it and learn their boundaries, we will see the good that it can do for us too. And for the last question, ayan, last question na muna. Don't worry guys, we will have more videos like this where I will be answering your questions. Kaya kung may mga tanong po kayo or kung gusto nyong humingi ng advice, you can comment them on our comment section below or you can send me a message on Instagram or on Facebook. For the last question, how to regain your confidence after failing your board examination? I'll answer this question with a story of a friend na may ganun ding pinagdaanan. So, back in 2014, I also had to take the board exams, the nursing boards. So, syempre, after gumraduate, we took the review classes, di ba? May mga review classes. And then, dun sa review center, I made a few friends. And this one friend, we became study buddies. Ayan, and you know, we would study every day kahit pagkatapos na mag-review, nag-aaral pa kami kasi syempre alam niyo naman kung gaano kaseryoso yung boards, 'di ba? So we would study every day and you know, we would question each other and you know, I could see how hard she worked. Between the two of us, mas natatalinuhan ako sa kanya. And in my mind, imposibleng bumagsak siya sa boards. Pero sabi niya, nape-pressure din siya kasi gusto daw ng parents niya for her to work abroad. And I think most of the nurses or the nursing students here in the Philippines, yun talaga ang ultimate goal. Yun ang pangarap, 'di ba? And eto ako, syempre, hindi nagna-nursing. And if you want to know why, watch episode 1. Kinwento ko doon kung bakit. But to cut the long story short, when we took the board exams, after a few months, nag-antay kami ng resulta. I passed it, but to my surprise, she didn't make it. She was one of those na hindi nakapasa. And of course, she got really depressed. I got depressed for her because like I said, siya talaga, between the two of us, talagang siya yung mas papasa eh. Took a while bago siya nakabangon ulit. And eventually, she regained her confidence and took the board exams the second time. And again, she took it, but, you know, unfortunately, she failed again. And I was really so frustrated already for her. Alam mo yung nagjo-joke na ako sa kanya, sabi ko, baka naman meron dyan sa Board of Nursing na ayaw sa'yo, tas binabagsak ka. Kasi sabi ko, napaka-imposible talaga. Bakit ka bumabagsak? Napakatalino mo. And I didn't understand why she kept on failing. Of course, she didn't understand. Kung ako na-frustrate ako, imagine her, diba? Imagine what she must have been going through. But she tried again, of course, because that's what her parents wanted for her also. And gusto din naman talaga niya. She took it again for the third time. And on her third try, finally pumasa na siya. Ang bilis ng mga pangyayari. When she passed the board exams, she immediately got a job offer sa Canada. And, you know, ang bilis lang talaga eh. A few months after that, inasikaso niya yung requirements niya. And then, you know, wala pang 1 year, she was already in Canada. And she was already, you know, fixing her visa, her work visa to work there as a nurse. And she told me that she realized so much sa journey niya ng pag-nurse. Sabi niya, grabe, how great God works. Sabi niya, tiwala ka lang talaga sa plano ni Lord and don't stop trying. Kasi sabi niya, had I passed the exams on the first try, sabi niya, she might have spent 2 years bumming around kasi wala pang job opportunity for her. Siguro sabi ni Lord, wag ka munang pumasa para hindi ka mahirapan. 'Di ba? Kasi sa third try mo pag pumasa ka, ito na, sure na may trabaho ka na kaagad. You know, keep yourself busy studying and studying na lang muna. Sometimes God really doesn't give us the blessings yet, talaga, like I mentioned earlier, kasi it's not yet time. I think the key is to never really stop trying, especially if it is something that you want so badly. Kasi alam mo, if there is something that you want so badly, ibig sabihin God has put that intention or that dream or goal in your heart. And if God has put that in your heart, it is something that the enemy would want to destroy. Of course, the enemy doesn't want to see us succeed, 'di ba? So, when you are fighting for something that God has put in your heart, for something that you are destined for, the enemy will do everything to bring you down and to try to stop you from doing it. So, wag kang magpapadala sa mga ganon. Don't stop trying and trust in God's timing. What may seem like a frustrating scenario is actually just God preparing you for His better plans. And if I were you, I would probably feel the same way. I would have siguro have myself stripped off of my confidence. I would probably beat myself up because I feel like I'm not good enough. I might feel the pressure of the people around me, especially some of my friends who have already passed the board exams. I would have felt that way too. But it helps to be reminded that it's not that you're not good enough. God just might really have other and better plans for you. What matters is that you don't stop trying. Do what is humanly possible and then leave the impossible to God. And that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did reading and answering your questions. And kung may mga gusto po kayong itanong or kung gusto nyong humingi ng advice, you can comment them on our comment section down below, or you can send me a message on our Instagram or on our Facebook. And who knows, your questions might be a part of one of our next videos. Thank you guys for watching, and God bless you all.
Do you want to know?